everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Plumbing the Death Star. I'm Joel.
I'm Jackson.
I'm also Joel.
Plumbing the Death Star is a comedy pop culture podcast that asks the important questions. Now, they say you can't unmake soup. How are you going to unmake soup?
Yeah, you ever heard this expression, listeners?
Because me and Joel Zammit vaguely had... You have? Oh, okay.
Definitely have.
I said, we were like, what are we going to do today? I was like, what about, can you all make soup? And Dusha was like, what the hell are you saying?
I heard this from the Legion episode.
I see.
Comic book.
Comic book.
Comic book is pop culture, baby.
So
We're
there
back.
you go. Where
Tell me that
I
that's
believe
stay
it's the spoilers.
Yeah.
Shadow King, but Audrey Plaza is like you can't unmake soup.
You
David.
can't make soup.
You can't unmake soup,
Yeah.
David. You can't make soup, David. No, sorry, you can't unmake soup, David.
You can't make soup. No one knows how.
No one heard. It's confusing.
It's a drink.
What?
It's a
Sorry,
meal.
shit.
You can't unmake soup.
God, telepath confused me. You did this. It's your fault, David. What?
Huh? And what it means, you can't unmake soup unless you've just pulled up the definition, Joel Dusha. I don't
Well,
know.
one thing that
Oh, no.
I'm finding is that every source seems to point back to this one scene
In Legion?
in Legion.
That rules.
Well, that's perfect, dude. Then it's the most pop culture question we've done in a while.
a long time.
Like...
You know the caliber of shit we're pulling this day.
It makes-
To have something that is pop culture related
You
is
can't
good, dude.
unmake soup.
You can't
Like,
unmake
this is,
soup. Yeah.
yeah, it makes me feel better about not knowing this because maybe it was made up for
Full
It's a good
Legion.
expression.
It's a great expression.
Well, the thing is, with unmaking soup, you can unmake soup.
Wrong.
No.
Okay, one, evaporate the water.
Hey, what's an ingredient of soup?
Yeah.
Water.
Water. Guess what, dickhead? Where's it gone?
Yeah, guess what? What can you turn gas back into? A liquid.
Oh, yeah, cool.
You
So
just-
you've blitzed up a celery into the water.
Fuck!
What now, fuckwit?
Yeah. You
Yo, it's still
doofus.
celery. I've still unmade it. I've just fucked up that celery. The soup remains unmade. Step one, I've made the soup. I've made pumpkin soup.
Oh, pumpkin.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So,
No,
okay,
that was a bad
pumpkin
choice.
soup. We've got water. We got pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
We
Blended.
got cream. And we got blending that bastard. All right, now what? What's your move?
Step one.
Heat the soup.
Okay,
But no, not
boil the
hot.
soup.
burn the soup. Boil the soup.
No, you want to boil the soup.
Yeah.
Which I think
Okay.
that's a rare soup move.
Okay, so we're boiling.
I would have done that anyway.
Okay, we're
It's funny
boiling
I'm
the
making
soup.
pumpkin soup and you're like, you're unmaking it. Wrong, I'm making it.
Well, no, because I think if
We're boiling pumpkin soup. Pumpkin soup is there boiling away. It's bubbling away.
Yeah.
You're there making sure you're stirring it, so making sure it doesn't burn.
yeah, stirring
Yeah.
it, and importantly, not putting the lid on.
okay. Letting that steam
Yeah,
evaporate.
'cause your
you're-
steam
so you're
is-
okay. So you're making a pumpkin soup reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happens when it's fully reduced?
Well, you've made like a sticky substance
Yeah.
that's not a pumpkin.
I've
Yeah.
made pumpkin sludge.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then if I put that pumpkin sludge in a pumpkin mold,
Okay.
and then I put that mold in the fridge,
Bread.
Yeah.
I got a
Right.
creamy pumpkin-shaped pumpkin, and then I got to figure out how to get
Well,
the
made
water
it.
back out of the air.
Yeah. So I think that's don't move on like you've solved it.
He's got to get the water out of the air.
Get that water.
All
out.
the water went up.
You're doing it in like an airtight room. The water evaporates into the ceiling and then drips down the side. You got
Shockingly.
that soup water.
Shockingly, the water out of the air is the easiest one because you would just simply, when you're evaporating it,
Yeah.
they're gonna slow boil. You would have like a catchment thing above it,
Yeah.
so that it, gets the steam.
But it's not going to turn back
I
into
know.
a pumpkin.
Well, that's getting,
No.
that's getting the water
I don't
out.
think- I
I,
don't think-
understand this.
I don't think you understand, Jackson, because I'm pouring it into a mold of a
Yeah,
pumpkin.
but the thing is, though, it's a well.
If you mash a banana and then put it back in a banana skin and manage to reseal it, is that not a banana?
No, how are you resealing it?
It's irrevocably changed banana.
It's a fucked up banana.
That's a banana where it's an awesome prank to pull on someone. You go to peel a banana and it just...
Ah,
Have I gone insane?
Yeah, you should kill yourself.
I put it down and then I go and get my grandfather's gun.
You just got punked. I'm Ashton Kutcher. I did the banana suicide trick. Sorry that I just got this podcast demonetized on YouTube. Pretend I said unalive.
Whatever.
Where are you going, honey? Banana's fucked. I can't live on this earth anymore.
Yeah, gotta go speak to
Nothing.
God.
Makes sense now.
Something's wrong with the bananas.
Yeah. Well, that was really a...
I'm Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Danny Matheson's a good guy.
Okay, so you can get the water back.
How many how many years along do we think we're gonna get with the amount of stuff I say with eventually me being threatened with legal action?
Something's gonna come back to you
Someone's
one
gonna
day.
give, right?
Chickens. You
But I
can
guess-
only send them out for so long
Yeah,
before they come home to roost.
Yeah,
Although
I
I
don't know if
guess-
you know about chickens, but they love to roost.
Yeah, they got to come home to do it.
I'm moving house.
Smart.
They go into
Smart,
someone
clever,
else's
clever.
house. Joel Salmon's house.
By moving house, you leave the podcast, and somehow it all
Can't get
falls on
me.
mine and Zamet's heads.
Yeah.
Oh, it might fall on my head now that I think about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Because it is a.
Yeah, you should have edited me out when I said that.
Should
Well, I
have
didn't
you
even-
out.
I
That's
didn't-
right.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a controversial claim. It was a legal statement.
Yeah. It's just
Danny Matheson rocks. I'm Ashton Kutcher.
He's not a piece of shit. I'm actually.
I'm
good.
actually-
I'm Ashton
Kutcher.
Kutcher, and this is my wife Mila Kunis. How
Yeah.
old was she when we met? Don't worry
Don't
about
ask
it.
questions.
I made
anyway.
Jackson kill himself by making him a mashed banana. I'm Ashton Kutcher. That is such a good prank.
Yeah, it's a really
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
I'd be scared of any banana
Yeah.
afterward. I would not want to open and any fruit. I'd be scared I'm going to bite into an apple and under the skin is just mushed
mushed up
apple.
I like apple puree in an apple skin.
What would be the worst fruit to find? Like, to have, like, you open it up, you bite
Yeah.
into it, you cut it, whatever, but to find the mashed version of.
That's a great question.
Mashed or like with apple, if it's apple puree on the inside.
Yeah.
And with banana, because mashed banana is like a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, because if you bite into like a lemon or a lime and it's just lemon or lime juice inside.
Yeah.
That would make me feel crazy. If it's
me
just
up.
full of lemon juice
Yeah.
inside
Like,
the
I cut,
lemon
like,
peel.
I half a lime and then just.
Yeah, just what the fuck?
All laws of physics are wrong. That's
Daddy needs to lie down.
Well, it's the same. An orange would be the same because
Yeah.
orange juice.
That would be so frightening. Pineapple,
Yeah.
scary.
I think pineapple, it's funnier if you cut into it and it's just like cut into like those little cubes that are on pizza.
Yeah.
What the fuck has
It's like a
happened to you?
pre-diced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's some.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm in this. Okay, yeah. I'm in that simulation. That
Yeah.
thing was right.
Yeah, okay.
This is fucked up.
Real life is fake.
Okay, cool. I'm a
'Cause, like-
fake man in a fake world. This is
Yeah.
all fake.
Okay,
I'm a
ha, I'm in the
Please.
don't worry,
Yeah,
darling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the
I don't know,
Matrix.
yeah,
I've been
yeah,
don't worry,
yeah.
darling.
I've been don't worry,
Where's
darling.
my husband?
Oh,
Show him to
no,
me.
delete me, please.
Because I think there's some that
He's
if I.
keeping me trapped in the Matrix or whatever.
Yeah,
Making
okay.
me wear a VR headset.
Harry Styles has kept me trapped in the Matrix. Big whoop.
Once again, haha, I'm Ashton Kutcher.
Because there's some things that I think if I cracked it open and it was so a coconut.
Yeah.
If I chopped a coconut in half and it was full of coconut cream,
Yeah.
I would be like, maybe I don't understand coconuts.
Yeah.
What if it's full
Because
of
coconuts are a bit of a mystery to me anyway.
What if you crack
How
it
am I
open?
getting in? How am I getting in?
And
on
like
them? I
there's
don't know.
coconut water and coconut cream and coconut
oil.
milk, coconut, like what's going on?
Well, most of those things are just in the coconut.
Well, the water is
Yeah.
and the husk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
then the
they do some shit to get the cream.
Milk it.
They cream that coconut. It's not in the coconut.
I'm guessing you would.
It must be. I assume you get the
I
coconut
assume
water
that-
and then you
the coconut like flesh,
and then
Yeah.
you cream that shit.
Yeah, just absolutely pulverize it.
yeah, like smack the shit out of
Yeah,
that
because
coconut
like,
flesh.
what's the white in coconut milk?
Do you want me to find out, or do you
Well,
want to
I'm
just keep
I know.
guessing?
Let me live in ignorance.
in with the milk?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it would be the coconut flesh and the coconut water, and you
Blended
kind of
together?
like mash together, blend together, whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess the milk would be with more water added.
Yeah.
And the cream would be the evaporated water.
Oh,
maybe. So
okay.
it's a bit more. It's thicker.
Yeah. Maybe. I see. I don't know.
See, I don't know either.
And I like living in ignorance
That's me
here.
guessing.
Yeah.
That's me guessing.
You're lucky as well. Your Pokemon soup, your pumpkin soup, is not like a Thai pumpkin soup that has a coconut you got to deal with.
Yeah.
It's just water and mashed pumpkin at the
Yeah,
moment.
and I'm struggling.
Well, you
Yeah.
get the water.
So yeah,
I got the
water's
water.
out. All right. Now you're like, okay, how do you reconstitute?
How do I
How do you
separate?
separate? Yeah, pumpkin sludge and cream.
Yeah.
Because also some of that like water that's being evaporated is like the water from water you've added.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
there's water from the pumpkin, and then there's water from the cream.
Yeah.
How would I filter pumpkin from cream?
Yeah.
Because
I'm guessing, could you do like a centrifuge?
Yeah, well, that was my theory. I was going to go to CERN with my soup.
Spin it
Yeah,
real good.
yeah.
Have I misunderstood what the Large Hadron Collider is?
Yes.
shooting atoms at your soup.
I got a chicken noodle soup. Hey, can you unmake this by putting it in the Large Hadron Collider?
Of course, it's a black hole.
Huh?
Oh, it turns out that
I gotta call my boys and see if this counts. Check
Yeah.
the news.
Yeah.
You see how
There's a black
Burn
hole
is getting
on Earth.
spaghettified?
Yeah.
And Me Too soon?
Yeah.
Does that count as unmaking my soup?
No, you've unmade reality.
Well,
unmade
it's part
reality.
of reality.
Yeah, I'll make it. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, my legs are going, so I gotta go.
Does it hurt?
Yeah. Yeah. It gains, man.
Okay, well, see you on the other side.
What I gotta really hope is that it's not like a portal to another dimension. Then I'm just in like a world where up is down and I still have my soup.
Yeah.
Okay,
You've
see you soon.
You're already gone to soup realm.
Yeah, it's actually I can stay on the phone a lot longer because the spaghettification process takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
want to call any of your other loved ones?
No,
They know how I feel.
I'm mostly just concerned about staying on the phone to give you guys soup updates.
Oh, how is the soup?
It's getting spaghettified too, dude. And it's chicken noodles, so some of those noodles are getting spaghettified, which I think is pretty
Spaghettifying
funny.
noodles?
Yeah, dude. Because spaghetti is kind of a noodle, but it's also
Well,
kind of
it's
a
noodle,
pasta.
yeah.
Well, it's crazy, like, because you can spaghettify spaghetti. What do you think about that?
Well, I wish I'd brought spaghetti soup or some shit. Meanwhile, my phone keeps dinging because all of my loved ones are trying to call me.
Are you in the black hole?
What did you do? Did you do this? Who would have guessed that by throwing atoms through a soup you make a black hole? I would not have thought that would happen, but no
Here we are,
scientist.
you know?
It's crazy you can put noodles in a soup, but if you put spaghetti in a soup, it's probably not a soup anymore.
Yeah, that's fucked
No,
up.
you could put in. Well, what do you mean? What
That's
kind
just
of?
pasta.
Yeah, what do you mean it's not a soup? Yeah, you could make a soup.
What sorry, I didn't realize Joel Sam was on the other line.
I
Hey, Joel
thought we were
Sam!
conference calling.
Yeah,
I've been talking this whole time.
Is your phone broken?
Why is
Sorry,
he
I think the
being-
black hole's giving me bad
Why is he
reception.
ignoring me until
dude,
now?
that's so
I don't
fucking
know.
rude.
Sorry, guys.
Hang on, sorry. Shut the fuck up, soon scientist.
I'm on the phone.
I'm actually on the phone. I'm in the middle of a conversation with my boys.
We're trying to figure out why noodles are allowed in a chicken noodle soup.
Well, okay, so you can put noodles, those little tiny ones.
Yeah.
You can also put like those, like, it's like a cross between like rice and pasta.
Oh,
Like egg.
soup noodle? Soup noodles?
Soup noodles, soup noodles, soup noodles, soup noodles.
Soup noodles.
Soup noodles, soup noodles.
No.
Rice noodles?
No,
I know what you mean.
I want to say is it like a pastini?
Pastini.
But not
Orzo? Is
that.
it called orzo?
There is that.
Also what?
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it looks like a rice. Yeah. ORZO.
Yeah, orzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
like,
can put them in a
It's not
soup.
quite rice. It's not quite pasta.
Yeah, it's just
a
kind
bit
of its
both,
own
maybe.
fucking thing.
I know. You
Yeah.
can put most grains into a pasta.
But it
Sorry,
is weird.
Yeah. We know how to unmake a pasta.
Yeah, that's easy. Because what's the easiest food to unmake? Let's get
Sandwich.
a baseline. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hardest part about unmaking your sandwich is getting the condiments off.
Yeah, unspreading.
Yeah.
Well, you just gotta get a wet
Dab.
paper towel, dab, and then squeeze it back into the mayonnaise.
Depends
or
what type
whatever.
of sandwich you're making.
If it's just ham, it's
Yeah.
very easy to unmake.
I reckon
Slap that ham back on the pig.
Yeah, like
Call it a day.
like a Macca's burger.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, hey.
Because it's basically it's a more complicated sandwich.
Yeah. But especially you asked for no sauce because getting the condiment off.
That feels like you're cheating.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
like me being like, hi, can I get a soup that's just a wet apple?
Yeah. Exactly.
Dude, I poured
Whoa.
the water. I poured the water out, and this apple pristine unmade the soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You're getting sucked into a black hole. I'm like, you idiot! You could have just asked for a basic soup.
A wet apple is not a soup.
Dude, anything's a soup if you say
I get
so.
sucked through the black hole and into
What?
another dimension. That's the first thing I say to the creatures on the other side.
A wet
Wet
apple's not a soup.
Oh.
I guess like a chicken noodle soup that
Yeah.
you haven't blitzed.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking. Your
probably
pumpkin soup is a bad choice.
Yeah, anything that involves a blender, that's
Yeah.
bad.
Say I got a chicken noodle soup. Okay, let's say it's bits of chicken.
I like that your gesture for chicken noodle soup was like a big. So you got a
Sandwich.
chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I'm imagining big bowl, family size
Yeah.
bowl.
If
Okay.
people
For a
aren't,
family of 12.
yeah, if
Okay.
people are just listening to this podcast in traditional audio form, know
Yeah.
that Jackson gestured like he was holding a big leg of ham.
Yeah, it's only gotten
Yeah.
bigger. Now it looks like it's holding like a huge ass.
The biggest ass in the world. Okay.
Damn, dude, that ass is huge.
His ass is from a person that's bigger than a person can be. So I come in with my big bowl of soup.
Yep.
Now, chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
We're talking chicken.
It's crazy that an ass can get huge, but the hole kind of stays the same size.
That is crazy. Doesn't need to get bigger, I
Yeah.
guess. Well, just because you're bigger doesn't mean you're doing bigger shits.
Yeah. Like you can have the fattest ass in the world, but
Yeah.
there's no
Nothing change. No change in that hole.
All right,
No one-
question maybe. Maybe is a question. Either it's a dumb question,
Yeah.
or so. What like
Yeah.
average wise?
Yeah.
Do we all roughly is there any sort of diameter shift between people?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Let's ask my friend the internet. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna have a good answer for
Yeah.
me.
Here's a
'Cause-
question
'cause
I
You know
have.
what? This feels like a phone private browsing situation.
Yeah.
What
Because,
I
like,
would-
we all have
yeah.
different mouths,
Yeah, but like
but
not-
roughly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they're
You know.
roughly the same size. Surely assholes is the same.
No, surely it'd be different though. Because sure, there's but some people have tiny mouths,
Yeah.
whatever. Like I can fit my.
Can you
fist
have a smaller asshole though?
I don't know because I can fit my fist in my mouth. Can you fit your fist
I
in your
was
mouth?
That was so
So
cool. That was so
scary.
surreal. Walking that line. I know I can't fit my fist in my mouth.
What about your asshole?
Yeah, but can you fist your own butthole? Really
But
up
I
there,
think but
digging
the
for
trick is
change.
not all of us can fist our mouths, but all of us with enough prep and time can fist our assholes.
That's true.
so I don't know what's
Well,
to be done about that.
But can anyone with enough gumption fist their own mouth?
No.
No.
But I probably could with
like-
enough time.
Like, is it what's the problem there? Is it
It's the
teeth
jaw,
is in the way
probably.
of
It's
the
the-
jaw?
it's-
And if you relax your jaw, maybe got like the massage to get rid of the tightness of that TMJ.
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. You
Would
can-
that help? Would that elongate said jaw?
Maybe.
Apparently, buttholes come in many shapes, sizes, color variations. Yeah, but
Shapes.
yeah.
What?
Who out there got a fucking octagonal bottle?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who's that, like rocking wombat sphincter?
Yeah.
Nice.
And-
cube.
Crescent moon. That's what
Yeah, when I was trying to figure out an answer, I got tricked not once but twice because the first result was shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen to this fucking comedian.
Okay.
There is no average butthole size. There is no average arsehole size. They range from 4 feet tall to 7 feet tall.
Ha, 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 ha. Very funny.
We should criminalize Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next article was, did you know your nipple is the same size as your butthole? And then I was like, what? And then I was like, oh, it's reductress.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Here's a question.
But there's a video. Doctor reacts, do men and women have different butthole locations?
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Slightly different.
Yeah, slightly different.
And
dude.
a woman's anus is slightly more flexible than a man's anus, apparently.
And also, like, they tend to be a different shape. If pornography's,
Anything
any
to go by.
indicator.
Weren't you just saying, oh no, you were surprised by shape.
No, but not that different. But there is, it's like a slight.
I was saying there's different shape between people.
Yeah, yeah. Between, I think there's a slight difference to the shape. Here's my
I think
question.
like adding the ball sack into the
But
mix
that's, I think, what
yeah.
does it. It's just your skin's different down there.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Yes.
Okay.
People with dicks. No. I don't care about your
You're not
question.
getting it out,
I'm not
dude.
getting
I'm
it out,
so
dude.
You'll get it
sorry.
out there in a second.
Oh, it's like fourth time's
Fourth
the
time's
charm.
a charm. Yeah.
People with dicks have bigger gooches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please continue.
I'm glad we waited. What point does your asshole reach the size it's going to be forever?
Yeah. You can't get upset that I was interrupting with my
Mine's
question.
furthering the conversation.
question.
Yes, it was.
Yours was a
confirmation.
confirmation. Oh, yeah, it was a confirmation. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. But yeah, like a baby's asshole.
Yeah.
And I hate the way you, but a baby's asshole.
You could have not said. I
It's-
interrupted you 4 times, and yet you persevered.
It's smaller than my asshole.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I
Well-
hope babies are not born with adult assholes.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Sorry, your baby's born, everything's normal, very healthy. They do have a man's asshole though.
Oh no! What should
gonna
I
be
expect? Big shits.
Big shits, yeah.
A
It's
big
gonna grow
nappy
into
bill.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at some point you must reach the size that your arsehole is going to
So
be
I know,
forever.
like your eyes are the same. You know, generally they don't tend to get bigger.
Yeah.
Kind of more, that's why babies go.
The arsehole is sometimes referred to as the brown eye, so I'm still team man arsehole.
Okay.
Yeah, fair,
Your arshole's as big as it'll ever get.
Like a friend of the Zoe, like,
Yeah.
her cat, she'll say that like when her cat was like a kitten,
Yeah.
it had a huge butthole.
Interesting.
But then, he grew into it. So it
Okay.
was kind of like a normal sized butthole by the time that the cat grew up.
Huh.
So what's that mean? What's that out of the mix?
What's that about?
I don't like that people pay that much attention to their cat's assholes.
You just
It's hard,
see
it's,
it.
it's hard not
No,
to
I know,
when it's in
I-
your face that
Yeah.
often.
I know. I know. Like, I have a cat too.
Yeah.
But, like,
You look away?
yeah, give them privacy.
Exactly.
But also,
Yeah.
like,
I get one of them like the things that wrap around the tail, like a little jewelry.
Yeah.
Covers it for me.
A butt plug.
A butt
Yeah.
plug. A bejeweled one.
Nice.
Fucked up.
I don't want to see my cat's arsehole. There we go. Oh, much better, dude.
It's like I've seen, like, I think, it's like it goes around their tail, basically, like
Yeah,
a pendant almost.
yeah,
that
I've
covers
seen
the
that.
butthole,
It's
which
like
is
a loincloth for your cat.
which is really fucked up because when it shits, it's just gonna like.
shit on the thing. Yeah, I'm not
yuck.
saying,
What are you
like,
doing?
I'm not saying that people
Plug
are
your
fucked
cat, I
up.
guess.
Plug
for-
it up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people are fucked up for looking at their cat's butthole.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like people don't.
What?
I don't know.
What?
That story about the big asshole, it just has vibes
I
of
mean,
like,
yeah,
you
like-
should have some boundaries with your pets.
but if you look at a cat and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, and then it's
Yeah.
like it's a kid, you're like, that was a huge.
No, I guess if
butthole.
you
Yeah.
do notice it.
And then it's like because it'll be noticeable if it's
It's like if your baby was born with a gigantic penis.
Dude, you're right. It's just like that.
You would be you're not
notice.
looking,
Yeah.
but you'd notice.
yeah. I mean, it's like
I'm
because there
so
is a
sorry. Your baby's very healthy, but it has a man butthole and a man penis.
It's got a
'cause
man's
there is
groin.
that thing where some babies can be born with like it's like swollen genitals
Yeah.
and they're like, very red basically, and so like if that had happened, you'd notice.
You'd notice.
Yeah.
You're not looking. But you also,
you
when
can't
you're
look,
wiping, you are looking.
You are looking. Yes,
No.
yes.
I was gonna say with a baby, I'm
Yeah.
like more fine with it. You got to look after. I guess you're looking after pets.
Yeah, but
I
you're
guess
not
I'm not
wiping a
wiping
cat.
it like on my cat's
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm wiping
true.
my child's butt. So that's
Yeah.
I think it's just because the person who told you the big butthole stories told me so many alarming things about cats
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
their cats are allowed to do that I was like, I think immediately I'm like, why do you know what your cat's? But yeah,
Yeah, I guess you're just you're gonna see it.
yeah.
It's around.
I know, like again,
Yeah.
I know, like
course.
I'm not like, what do you mean you just see a cat's asshole? But like,
You
I
gotta give
don't
it
know.
some
I don't wanna
sense
be in
of decorum. Yeah.
I just don't want to be in a situation where if I close my eyes and try and picture my cat's
You can
ass,
do
I
it.
can do it.
Yeah.
You did it. That's upsetting.
So I come in with a big bowl of soup.
Yeah.
I go to not the Large Hadron Collider because I don't want to make a black hole. I go to wherever they've got one of those big centrifuges.
I think before this, what you could do is at home
Yeah.
a sieve.
That's a good start.
No. Go to the centrifuge first, and they're like, "Hey, brother, did you try a sieve?"
Like, just hear me out.
Yeah.
You have your big bowl. I mean, let's just make it just a regular pot.
Okay.
Just a regular pot of a chicken noodle soup.
Okay.
So then what we're going to do is, we're going to get another big bowl or whatever, and a big sieve. Whatever. We're just going to pour that
Yeah.
in. So now we've separated the liquid and like
solids.
The solids.
Yeah.
So noodles and
Yep.
chicken are separate
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
soup.
So very carefully, and either we let it like air dry
Yeah.
or like whatever it is. We very carefully we start picking apart the solids.
Yeah.
All right. So eventually we'll have some carrot. Eventually we'll have some celery. Eventually we'll have some chicken bits. Eventually we'll have some noodles.
Yeah.
right? And then that's we got them. in
Then
separate
I head to
piles.
the centrifuge.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is at least for the noodles,
Yeah.
we'll maybe put that into like what do you call it when you sun dry tomatoes, but not the sun.
Humidifier?
Not a humidifier.
Dehumidifier?
Maybe. No.
To dehumidify
I
is.
think it's
Oh wait, yeah, because they dry.
Yeah.
Dehydrator.
Yeah.
Dehydrator?
Dehydrator?
Well, that's
Yeah.
how you get sun-dried tomatoes.
You put them in the sun,
Sucked
sure.
up.
Basically, either put in the oven maybe for like a very low temperature to kind of evaporate the water that's there. So we kind of have now we've got like dry noodles. That's the
Okay.
noodles done. Like and then for
I'd be
the-
so scared I'm going to fry those noodles accidentally, or oven-baked
do you-
noodles.
Oven-baked noodles.
Yeah, I would be scared too if I put my noodles in the oven and they came out fried. I'd be like, well, Daddy's got to lie down.
Reality's gonna stop breaking down on me, dude.
Oven-baked noodles.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so like low temperature.
Yeah.
So then we got say carrot, and celery. And let's say potato.
Yeah, okay.
I would just like to say that if putting a mashed pumpkin in a pumpkin mold, I'm looking forward to see how you unboil and put together this carrot.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the carrot. So this is one of those things where we're gonna have to painstakingly kind of like match up.
Okay, we reconstruct the carrot.
And so
The peel is in the
peel is
gone. Probably
Peel
at
is
this
gone.
point.
Peel is in the bin. I don't know if we can. We can't really put the peel back on. Unfortunately, that's something that's that's been discarded in the bin.
Science hasn't got there yet.
That's in the bin.
They did surgery on a grape,
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
They've
Yeah,
not
but
done
they can't-
reconstructive surgery on a carrot.
They can't
because
reskin a carrot.
That's in the bin. That's not in the soup.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't need that. Yeah.
So, and then what I'm thinking.
One thing, and it just became apparent to me while you're describing it. Unmaking a soup doesn't mean uncooking the vegetables.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I can do. You know that meat glue that people do to
Oh,
put together
yes.
meat? We do
Well-
that with the carrot.
Here's my question, and this may spark debate. At what point does it become soup?
I was also going to ask this question
'Cause-
earlier on.
Okay, I've got a bowl of boiling water,
Yes.
and I have my food, my vegetables prepped, and my chicken prepped. Is it a soup yet?
No.
No,
You've got
that's-
ingredients full.
I add stock to the water.
No.
Yep, you've got stock.
Now, I chuck in a carrot. Are we in Soup Town? Soup Town, USA.
I think we're in the beginnings of the soup.
2 carrots.
Well, okay, it depends. Are you just going to keep adding carrots? Because you're just boiling carrots at that point.
Yeah. Also, you're then making either just like a carrot stew.
Yeah. Okay, we don't want to make a stew.
No.
Unmaking stew's a whole other kettle of
It's like if
fish.
you're
Easier,
making
I
like
reckon.
probably.
Yeah,
a
me
little bit.
too.
But like if you're making with all the carrots, if you're like
Stews rarely involve blending.
yeah, because if you're just chucking in carrots, you're just boiling carrots.
Yeah.
In stock water.
Yeah.
And the moment you start blending those carrots, then
Soup.
it's carrot
Now
soup.
we're in soup territory.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, chicken noodle soup doesn't involve blending.
Yeah.
Or carrots. They can involve
It
carrots.
can involve carrots, but not strictly. So, okay, I get the carrots in there. I put celery in there.
Yeah.
That's...
Still,
is that
'cause
soup?
You didn't have to boil like.
Yeah, you don't put celery. I would
you
say
don't
yes.
boil celery to eat.
It's a fucked up soup, but it's a soup.
I
Remember
would
the
say
calories there.
you're just building the profile, like the flavor profile. Because
Then I add the what was the other vegetable? Potatoes.
yeah.
Say I've already boiled the
Yeah,
potatoes or
you just
whatever.
no, because I reckon a carrot and celery, they're ingredients to vegetable soup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it's soup. It's soup from the moment the celery hits the water. Yeah, I mean, you're making a soup.
Yeah.
But
But
it's
yeah,
not
when are you
stop.
like, huh?
But if you stopped adding stuff and you got like say 16 carrots and 1 celery, I'm
Yeah.
like you made a fucked up soup.
I would just, that's...
I think it needs to
What
be
about-
maybe
what
3
about-
vegetables.
What about I put some broth
Yeah.
to boil, and then I pour it in a bowl and I drink it with a spoon?
That's just broth,
You
dude.
use the word for it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was just
sentence.
checking. Okay, then same.
Same thing, but yeah, say, hey, noodles in that broth.
Yeah, I had noodles in the broth.
What are we doing?
What is it? What are we
Brothy
eating?
noodles.
Brothy
I
noodles.
would call that noodles rather than soup.
Well, it's kind of like I was thinking before with pasta. You can have a really saucy bolognese, but it's pasta. It's not bolognese soup with pasta in it. It's pasta with bolognese.
Dude, bolognese soup, just sitting there slurping down bolognese.
Delicious.
Yum.
Dude, what a vibe. So it's complicated because
If I
you
say,
say-
okay,
okay.
so how about this?
Yes.
Broth.
How about this?
okay.
Broth.
Yeah.
Noodles. Dumplings.
Oh,
That's it.
Oh,
Now I just made a dumpling soup.
that's soup. That's soup.
Good soup.
Good soup.
I've seen the meme.
Maybe it's
I've also
easier.
seen the episode of Girls. Yeah, check my credentials. I can quote that.
Fuck, he's got us there.
It's got us there, dude. Maybe it's easier if we go cream of soup.
Okay.
So
Now, this is embarrassing.
okay,
This is a thing that gets thrown around a lot.
it's okay.
What is cream of
this
soup?
This is a safe place. So just is like a creamy soup, basically.
so soup
cream
with
of
cream.
pumpkin is like a creamy pumpkin soup.
So you
I thought it was something different, but it's just a creamy pumpkin
Yeah.
soup. Yeah.
And you blended the shit out of it.
Exactly. Pumpkin soup, easy to make, delicious.
So you're fallen into the same trap then, because you're now revisiting the area where I immediately fell over.
I just want to know when it becomes a soup.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
That's where I still am.
See,
you know?
because it depends what soup you're making.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't look at a bunch of carrots and 1 celery. To me, does not make a soup.
Yeah,
So
but-
are you cutting up the celery and the carrots
Yeah.
as well? Okay. I think 3 vegetables. I'm like, you're making a vegetable soup.
Okay.
I would
It needs to
say
be
that
3. Otherwise, you've made like weird carrot celery water. Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that like it depends? Because if you know he's making a soup, that also changes when it becomes a soup.
Yeah, if I
Because
say, hey, I'm
Jackson's
making
like-
soup. Hey, boys, do you want to come around to my place? I'll make you a big soup. Immediately, you're like, well, there's better things I was going to be going with my
No, if you start
Friday
making
night,
dinner, he
but-
starts doing that.
Yeah,
what
but-
if I got, again, using your bolognese? Like,
Yeah.
I make some bolognese. It's like it's saucy, it's rich, right?
yum.
And then it's already there. It's like kind of reduced down, whatever. It's like very flavorful there. Maybe it's got some meatballs in it. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yum.
Whatever we
Oh,
want.
dude,
Maybe
yum.
it's a red sauce with some meatballs, delicious. And then I get a 2-liter jug of water, and I just pour that in. I'm like, soup's done, boys.
Why do you rack out dinner?
Yum.
Is that not soup?
Yeah, it's meatball soup.
Yeah.
I think that counts.
Can you soup anything though?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
Name a thing and I'll soup it, dude.
I like
yeah,
that
yeah.
Jackson's combative on when soup's a soup, and he's like, "No, you're wrong about that." And then I'm like, "Can anything be soup?" And you're like,
Oh, yeah, bro.
It's because of my sense of adventure. That's what got me there.
What about things that aren't traditionally food? Could you make whiskey soup?
Yeah.
How? What's the ingredients
How
of
is
whiskey
it-
soup?
How does it become whiskey soup? Otherwise, it's just watered
you
down
make
whiskey.
you make a regular beef broth.
Okay.
Okay. Put some whiskey in it. Imagine this, okay?
Oh, that was it?
he's fucking done. Yeah, okay, well done. All right.
Imagine
yeah.
this though. You go to like a
No,
fancy.
you just made a broth, brother.
You go to a
You've
fancy.
made whiskey broth.
You've
Make
made
a whiskey
whiskey
soup
broth.
for me.
You go to a fancy
Brother,
restaurant.
you can keep saying you go to a fancy
go to a
over and over
fancy
again.
thing,
I want to
yeah,
know
yeah.
how you're making a fucking whiskey soup. Because
you-
you're about to just describe whiskey broth again.
Yeah, well,
like-
then you put some fucking vegetables and some beef cubes in there. That's whiskey soup.
Is it, or is that beef soup?
It's beef soup with whiskey, but I can put it. I can sell it in a restaurant as whiskey soup.
That's like how are you transitioning? You know how you were saying it doesn't matter how much pasta sauce is
Yeah.
on pasta,
Yeah.
it's still pasta.
Yeah.
And I think with soup there's some ingredients like you can't call it a vegetable soup if you put chicken in it.
That's true.
I found the recipe for whiskey chicken soup.
There you go, baby.
No,
It's
What a
real.
win for you!
Whiskey chicken soup.
Yeah.
So again,
Just
it's,
remove the chicken.
Also, you didn't describe this. This isn't your recipe, so it doesn't count as you winning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, that
I
was
mean,
one example. I got heaps more.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess because it's like it's got like a whole chicken, dates, goji berries, ginger, 2 tablespoons of whiskey, 2 quarts of water, salt to taste.
Yeah.
So I guess you took that out. I mean, you've got okay, you
Goji
basically
berries.
got
Yeah.
I think if you have flavored it with other things and added whiskey,
You can say it's a whiskey soup.
I reckon.
Yeah. What's your other things?
Okay, so yeah, food that shouldn't be.
Yeah, it shouldn't be
Actually, yeah,
souped.
make me a pasta soup.
Pasta soup is tricky.
Yeah.
Because what is that?
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of pasta?
Ravioli.
Ravioli
Okay, that's
soup.
easy. You have ravioli. Okay, so what you do is you make like I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with the chicken
Actually, I
broth.
fucked up here. You're smart.
Yeah.
You've nailed
Yeah.
it straight away.
Yeah, you
I
get
picked the fucking dumpling.
Yeah, you made a
Oh,
dumpling.
yeah.
You've done a dumpling.
I just
Easy.
swapped ravioli out for dumpling.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So pasta
okay.
soup, plain pasta soup.
What if it was spaghetti?
I was gonna say
Spaghetti soup.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna go with more of the vibe of like, all right, I want like buttered
Rigatoni.
noodles.
What?
Buttered noodles.
Buttered
Make
noodle
buttered noodle soup.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh yeah, because again, all you're doing is you're getting buttered noodles.
Yeah.
And then adding soup and maybe like that sort of like that like a butter sauce to it. To really
Yeah, that's
enhance
what I
the
was imagining.
butterness.
Making basically like a roux of some kind.
Speaking
Burnt butter. I make
Yeah.
burnt butter pasta all the time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, and
Make
this
a-
is going to isolate a lot of our audience for no reason in particular. Buttered pasta, not for
For
me.
you? Yeah, fair
Not
enough.
into it?
It's
Fair
like-
enough.
Not
I
even
don't
when
know.
you're feeling a bit seedy and sick.
With a bit of salt.
I would just prefer plain pasta if I'm feeling like that, or even pasta and cheese, which I know is also a hit with the same community. So I'm back.
You're back, baby.
enough.
You've won them over
Yeah, yeah.
once
I don't know.
again.
If I'm like, it's that weird thing. Maybe it's just because like nostalgia or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, feeling sick, like either like, under the weather, hungover.
Burnt butter and pumpkin pasta, though. My fucking god.
My
But I'm just
lord.
like, I don't care for pumpkin. But I'm just like,
fair enough.
sorry. I just don't care
Pumpkin's
for pumpkin.
great, dude. I'm with you.
Yeah.
A pumpkin
Pumpkin's
soup,
awesome.
bit of cream,
Oh.
crusty bread with butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, fucking, have you had? We're leaving you behind because you don't like pumpkin.
We're on the pumpkin train.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a roast
All
pumpkin.
aboard.
Yeah. Like a canned pumpkin. Fuck right off.
Oh yeah,
What
fuck
about-
canned pumpkins, dude. Have a butternut.
Butternut.
Oh, butternut
Delicious.
pumpkin.
How
dude.
good is like a pumpkin? Pumpkin ravioli.
Oh, I gotta make you pumpkin pancakes, dude.
Fuck.
I'll make these
pumpkin gnocchis. Fucking awesome
Crazy
too.
pumpkin pancakes.
Fuck.
They're so good.
Sounds like they go hard as fuck.
They go
dude.
hard as fuck, dude. You get pumpkin spice, all the classic pumpkin spice. You get nutmeg, cinnamon in there.
Fuck
a little bit
yeah.
of pureed pumpkin. You get a whole butternut squash. You put butter and brown sugar all over the top of it. Roast it for like an hour. Then you just peel it and blend that shit. You have this like divine.
That sounds
pumpkin
fucking
puree.
awesome, but Joel Zammett's so bored because he hates pumpkin.
I really hate canned pumpkin.
Yeah.
Roast pumpkin, nah.
Yeah.
Again, pumpkin like a Thai pumpkin soup, delicious. I'll have that.
Oh, roast pumpkin's awesome. Like,
But
it's like
pumpkin
kind
water
of
dishes. I'm like,
Pumpkin pasta's good. Pumpkin pizza's good.
pumpkin pizza is good.
You cut the pumpkin
There is,
really little in little cubes.
you can
Yeah.
go out for like yum cha. They have those little pumpkin.
Yeah. Pumpkin dumplings or
I
pumpkin.
forgot
They're
what
like
they're
a.
called, but they
what
sounds
you
like what
mean.
you're describing. It's like a bit fried.
Yeah, dude.
quite
Fuck,
nice.
I gotta get some pumpkin pasta. For
Yeah,
dinner tonight.
dude.
Like, yeah. By and large, though, most pumpkin, I'm like, nah.
Yeah,
This is rare for us, where we have just eaten lunch, yet we've got very distracted by food. Everyone's at home listening, or on the bus, or flying a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like,
Jacking off
"Man."
in the toilet
Yeah,
off the plane.
yeah.
Is the pilot.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, yeah, this must be one of those famous just before lunch episodes. No, this is just after lunch.
After post lunch, dude.
But so you don't have any nostalgia for say buttered noodles because when you're feeling a bit seedy and you kind of don't want anything too much flavor. I'm into dry toast with the tiniest bit of butter, maybe flat lemonade.
Oh, yeah,
some
flat lemonade's good. Flat lemonade's
Flat
good.
lemonade
And
goes
then,
hard.
then I can feel maybe some Vegemite on toast. Also
Salty.
good. Very salty. And then when you're feeling a bit better, you're like, I could do with some
Steak.
some pasta, some buttered. I could do some buttered noodles on the end.
Hey, I love buttered noodles, dude. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm
like
with
I
you on
said-
the pumpkin. I'm with you on the buttered noodles.
Yeah.
Now you need to find a common food that I hate.
Being
Eggs.
named Joel. Eggs.
I was like egg soup, but then the egg drop soup. Easy.
Yeah. What about
you-
sandwich soup?
This is your game. Make a sandwich soup.
Okay.
Step one. You make a roux, because that's a good
I was
base.
gonna say, you can't just say sandwich soup. You kind of got to give us more of an example of it's a cheese and
BLT
ham
soup?
or a BLT.
Yeah,
or
I was imagining sort of. I
club
can describe the
sandwich soup.
sandwich because I visualized it perfectly.
Lettuce soup would be hard.
No,
Speaking of
you
BLT.
could do it, but it sucks.
Not nice. I was imagining the
Someone
sandwich.
would just assume you meant to use spinach or something, and you use
Yeah.
lettuce accidentally.
I think if you had a dinner party where you served lettuce soup, people would get up and leave.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. Never do it again.
No.
Hey, thanks for the gifts. See ya.
Yeah, surely
I did it intentionally.
The old lettuce soup scam.
This is going to make everyone.
cabbage instead. But, lettuce.
Yeah.
I'm not a big cabbage guy.
Yeah, me neither. It
Like,
has
I
its
don't-
place. It has its place.
I find that with
In a
most
coleslaw.
foods. Yeah.
In a coleslaw, in a stir fry.
Yeah, in a stir fry, yeah.
Most just like ingredients,
Yeah.
I'll be like, even if they're ones that I wouldn't eat by themselves, I'm like, they have a place.
Yeah,
but
of
then I
course.
guess, there's some finished meals where I'm like, what are we
Yeah.
doing here?
Who are we kidding?
Yeah, come on.
Fair,
Lettuce soup?
Lettuce soup? Are you serious right now?
thank
How are you making lettuce soup in your mind?
Lettuce soup? More like let us out of this dinner party.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come see my Melbourne International Comedy Festival show.
I guess I'm cutting up lettuce and putting it in water and hating my life.
Well, the funny thing is, because
adding a stock cube.
a lettuce stock cube.
I was imagining it. This is way worse. I'm like, right, step one, boil the lettuce till it's really, really wilted. Blend. Add cream.
Well,
I was
Cream of
imagining,
lettuce soup.
I don't know why, but you got this soup with your lettuce soup. I'm imagining with some chopsticks picking up a bunch of hot, wet lettuce and just
Hot lettuce, dude. Yum.
hating life. Hating life.
because with most soup, well, not most, you know what? That was just flat out incorrect. I'm going
Yeah.
to walk the start of that sentence back.
All right.
Because there is some soups where the flavor of the soup comes from cooking the vegetables and whatever else is in
Yeah.
it. So the soup flavor has come from cooking in it. In my head, because lettuce is basically water flavored anyway.
Yeah.
You're basically just making water flavored soup. And at that point, you might as well just serve a bowl of warm water.
I think
Here you
a
go,
bowl of
lettuce
warm
soup.
water would be more appetizing. I
Water
think it would taste nicer
Yeah.
than lettuce soup.
Well, lettuce soup, we kind of like if you just sucked the water off grass.
It's funny, water soup is the hardest soup to unmake. Because,
No, it's not. You
Cool
evaporate
it
the
down.
water.
yeah,
Or cool it down.
cool it down.
Yeah.
What if it's a cold water soup like a gazpacho?
When you say it's a cold water soup, please tell me what the fuck you mean.
Do you mean a glass of water?
You mean a bowl of water? It's if I'm searching water soup. I'm like, jump to recipe. Thank you. I don't need to know about your backstory. Jump to recipe.
Here's my
1
grandma's
quart
recipe.
of water. Oh yeah. I can unmake that. I don't know. Pour it back in a jug. I can't put it back in the mains, but you know.
I guess the trick is you never really made soup to begin with.
Step 1, turn on tap into bowl. Oh yeah. Step 2, serve.
You just lost your mind at a dinner. Good soup. Oh, that's so sad.
That's traditionally served in a glass.
Not my soup.
My
Old
water
family recipe.
Old Bailey family recipe for water soup.
Yeah, I think, look, a bread soup
Yeah.
is going to be a bit harder.
feel like
Because
bread soup's a thing.
Probably is, but again, when you're making anything with like a sandwich, so if you're making, I want a cheese, ham sandwich.
I was imagining
soup.
Swiss cheese, ham, pickles, mayonnaise, olive on a toothpick through the top.
Okay, so again, you could be like,
Will
all
it
right,
soup?
Will it soup?
I guess you just
That's
blend
why we
it.
should start a YouTube channel.
Will
Will
it
it soup?
So I'm guessing what you can do
10 views ever.
Yeah. is
One
with-
comment. Hope the hosts are dead.
So with the bread, is you're making croutons.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
you're maybe getting either like the same olive, or you're getting like, slice of the olive, a little toothpick on all the croutons.
Okay,
so you're
nice.
making like little presentation quite nice.
okay, good.
So
Oh, fuck,
bits of-
actually-
it was ham.
Ham, Swiss cheese, mayonnaise,
mayonnaise.
pickles.
I saw someone do this.
Whoa.
I know how to do this.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a ham and cheese sandwich, though. It was a McDonald's large meal that they
Okay.
turned into a soup
Okay.
without the drink.
That's crazy.
So what you do if you were going to make a sandwich like this,
Yeah.
you would cut the sandwich into 4,
Yep.
freeze dry it,
Yeah.
blend it,
Oh.
and then they
Makes like, yeah. Like
they
breadcrumbs,
originally-
kind of?
huh?
Does it become like breadcrumbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They originally then they blended it, and then because originally they were like, I'm going to make a Big Mac espresso.
Whoa.
This is a TikTok, so if people know what I'm
okay.
talking
Yeah.
about, I'm not.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering, like, is this like the Iron Chef, like who's like son, like the son of the Iron Chef? He comes in, he's like, "Hey, can you make this gourmet?"
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
And the
Yeah,
Iron
yeah.
Chef will be like, "Oh yeah, cool, I can do this."
Yeah, no, this is
It's always
like
fun to watch.
Yeah, this guy is like turning things into espressos. But then when he was like looking at it, probably has like because this is the only video about him I'd seen.
Yeah.
When he was looking at it, he was like, "Oh, this feels like it's going to end up being like it says something about it being soupy or whatever." So
Yeah.
he's like, "This won't work as an espresso. It'll be a soup."
I think I know the. Yeah, so he's like, "Will this espresso?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you made a
yeah.
cheeseburger soup.
He made a Big Mac soup,
Interesting.
Big Mac and fries soup, and he said, "This is weird. It just tastes like that."
Whoa, that's crazy.
Huh.
But it was a very unpleasant color.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
of
can
course,
imagine.
yeah.
It was like in a kind of off yellow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Do
So I
we
guess
thi-
your freeze
yeah.
dry is you're freeze drying, making a crumb, and then adding water and hydrating. That
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
Of stuff. Okay.
Do you
okay.
think-
That feels like almost cheating to me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you
But
could
yes.
if you ground if you freeze dry it, ground it up,
Yeah.
you could almost turn it into like a stock cube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I just added
yeah.
some ham and cheese sandwich.
Stock, yeah.
Stock.
Just
So I'm
add a
thinking like
sandwich
you
stock.
get the elements of it.
Yeah.
Because again, like ham, like you get chunks of ham.
Yeah,
in
you
there.
chop it up, fry it for
The
flavor or whatever.
Cheese, I would either.
Well, if you
put
make
it
a roux
towards
and then you put the cheese in, you
yeah.
end up kind of like a kind of
like
cheesy
with like
sauce.
or yeah, you could do that. Because I was thinking you make like on the croutons, you kind of like
Oh,
cheese
yeah,
up the
true,
croutons
true.
a little bit. You could do that.
Yeah.
It's the mayonnaise.
the mayonnaise.
that I'm like,
I think
adding mayonnaise to a soup.
we've discussed
Hate
a lot
that.
of disgusting soups today, but if I went somewhere and they had mayo soup, I think that's the most likely to make me throw up.
Mayo soup, horrible.
Yeah. Like one of those, because all I'm imagining is a big salad bowl full of hot mayonnaise.
Well, here's the thing, Jackson,
watery
and
mayo.
I know
Yeah.
this is going to be controversial to you,
yeah.
but I think the only thing I can think of that's worse for me is milk soup.
Oh, no, that's good. Milk soup, dude. As a sweet, in my mind, it's a sweet soup.
I know in your mind it'd be sweet and delicious, and
You could make a milk soup.
Yeah.
I know you could because
No, I'm saying like I guess in delicious milk soup.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem here.
it would probably. I think just in my head, I'm like
Because you're
the
making.
smell of hot milk being kind of off, but I know that
He doesn't like milk, though.
don't like.
that's a problem.
I mean, I put milk in things.
Yeah,
but
it's
you
an
don't like
ingredient to me, not a beverage.
You're not going to drink a cool glass of milk.
No, I think that's
Like a
fucked
bowler.
up.
Yeah.
No, it's not bowler behavior.
Oh,
It's baby
it's- no,
behavior.
it's
It's
baller.
straight G behavior,
Dude,
dude.
do you know who else drinks milk? Johnny Baby.
Yeah,
He's a
dude.
baby.
No,
He's
he
tough
doesn't.
as-
He doesn't drink milk. He drinks formula.
Yeah.
And
and
Jackson,
that smells bad.
Yeah.
Me, I'm drinking a cool glass of milk on a hot day sitting on the stoop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bitch.
drinking hot, like, it's even stupider to me. If you're like, I'm drinking, I don't know,
Yeah.
milk before bed because it's a cold night or whatever, I'm like, yeah, sweet.
No, you get
Cold milk, hot day?
Ice cold glass of milk, sit on the stoop of your house, look at the day go by,
Have a time.
You've never done that before in your life.
I absolutely have.
Watch your day go by.
He always watches his day go by.
I'm never focusing.
No, you can. It's you could make
It's
like
really funny because, like, I obviously know where you live.
Yeah.
And I'm going to reveal it right now. No,
Stocks. Yes.
it's funny knowing your house and the layout of everything
Yeah.
for you just to be standing on your front porch just drinking milk.
A glass of milk.
Yeah,
You'd
dude.
be
I
like,
can imagine that on a hot day.
Yes,
Yeah,
lovely.
no, I can see
yeah,
that. That's
you're
easy.
all fucked in the head.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you're basically making like you get like water, milk, adding that. You kind of almost doing what
you
you
make
want to
half
make
a soup, basically.
Well, no, you want to do like what you make for an ice cream, like the ice cream base.
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
true.
But, like, before you freeze it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, be
You can
alright.
make anything into a soup.
That'd be delicious.
If I take my big
like
bowl
a
of
custard, really. Yes.
yeah, if I take my big bowl of spaghetti
Yes.
chicken noodle soup I
Yeah.
made,
Yeah.
and I put it in a large hadron collider.
Yeah, we've been through this. Black hole.
No,
We're on the phone for a very long
You
time.
can
A
say-
centrifuge.
Spaghettified. Yeah,
A
yeah, yeah.
centrifuge.
Yes.
Will that unmake the soup? 'Cause
No.
it'll separate everything.
It would fuck it up. What do you mean by separate everything? Because have you sieved it first? Because let me tell you, brother, that should be your first move.
I don't need to sieve it. 'cause
Yes,
the-
you do.
The centrifuge will just spin it fast enough that every element of it separates.
No, because you got like
and I'll
you
get a
got-
little
you
tube
got-
of pasta, a
No,
little
you
tube
won't.
of.
No, you won't. What you will end up happening because you're spinning everything, but you'll liquefy like the potato, the carrot,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff because it's going so far. It's already mushy.
Yeah.
It's very delicate because you've been boiling and cooking it.
That being said,
Yeah.
after that happens, which it will happen, because at first all the solids are just going to mash together.
Yeah.
But after that, technically, if you leave it in there long enough and they're liquefied, then yes, they will separate.
Every-
You'll have a
everything-
little separate.
I'll have a little. I'll
Because
have a
that's
little.
what a centrifuge is for.
Exactly. I'll have a little tube of potato, a little
No.
tube of carrot.
You'll probably,
Okay.
maybe,
Yeah.
it depends. No,
there's-
because I don't know if they'll liquefy enough. I think
what
you just
is-
have mush of solids.
Yeah. Water
Liquid.
stock.
No, the stock won't separate. The stock will have dissolved into the.
So with
Will
the
it not
centrif-
separate?
with the
I'm sure it will.
Say, look, let's just go this one by one.
Yeah.
No, because
I
the centrifuge
put in-
isn't heating or cooling. It's just spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put in like I've got some stock.
So the stock will
Right.
stay a liquid.
So
Yeah.
I've got like I put in the the
Yeah.
water, chucked in a stock pot, mixed it all together. It's all kind of mixed in.
Yeah.
We chuck it in a centrifuge. What happened?
Centrifuge spins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spins really, really fast.
Yes.
And
Will
because
it
of
separate into pure, delicious H2O water and
Yeah.
then a bit of stock?
I believe it will.
Yes.
And if that's the case,
Is it because one is heavier?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay,
so the stock's heavier, so it's going to separate into of water and stock.
Yeah.
Okay. Now all I need to do is turn that stock back into cube.
I'm getting a phone call from a scammer, I think. It says warning suspicious calling pattern.
Get him
Should
on
I
the
answer
get
it?
him on the pod, dude. So then I make that into a stock cube.
I hung up.
No, fair
So
enough.
that's why you need to sieve it first.
I don't understand the sieving thing.
Because
He's-
Why?
you're getting rid of all the solids. Because
No, but I need the solids to separate in the centrifuge.
You do
No,
that by hand.
but you've just done that by hand. It'll be faster.
and easier and be more delicate because you're not like spinning it, causing your potato to break up into your like celery. Because like say a gram of celery
Yeah.
versus a gram of potato, which one's heavier, Jack?
the potato.
Wrong. You are so fucking stupid. That's the oldest fucking question in the book. Fuck you.
I didn't. In my defense, listen to the measurements.
Why don't you listen?
In my defense.
You're having a big day of just not paying attention.
To my defense.
And I will say, in your defense, I'm having a big day of just constantly interrupting everyone. I know. Sometimes you
That's
just
how
have
we
days
are.
like that.
Hey, it's fine. It's all right. It's all
You're
good.
not listening. I won't stop talking. I'm still listening, though. Just
Yeah.
talking over the top of
I've
it.
become distracted because me and Zaman have the same pair of underwear.
Exactly, because we're both gifts to each other.
Oh, that's right.
Don't pay attention.
In my defense, me and Zaman have bought each other many pairs of
Exactly.
underwear. So,
You used
know.
to be housemates.
yeah. Well, we
No,
know.
this was after that.
It was just,
Yeah, this is a thing.
just a thing we do.
No,
It's
fair
a little
enough.
tradition of ours.
Anyway.
Okay. Now, this is my next question.
Okay.
So, say I'm making a chicken noodle
Yep.
soup. Now, we just agreed earlier that a chicken noodle soup, the three vegetables,
Yes.
celery, carrot, potato. Now, if I'm making a soup big enough, say it's like quite a big soup,
Yeah.
and I don't chop up the carrot, potato, and celery, I just put them in there whole. Does that still count?
Well, you're using them as kind of aromatics, right?
Sure.
At that point.
Yeah.
So you're using them for the flavor and this, so
Yeah.
a whole
And
onion.
the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a whole onion, So
I'm just thinking that's going to be easier to unmake.
Yeah. So you're using it for the flavor because, if your argument there is, so what soup are you making?
Chicken noodle.
Okay. So the argument you'd be making is I'm using this for the flavor of it.
Yeah.
So so a whole, say for example, you got an onion, you put some cloves in there and you're chucking it in, so you're going to take that out anyway. You're not going to serve it with it. And so the intention is to be I want this to be the flavor of carrot, but I don't want carrot in my soup. You take the carrot out afterwards.
In my
and
mind,
you'd
I'm
have-
not taking the carrot out.
Okay. I don't know if I would say that would still be considered soup. It just feels like you need to have it cut up.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to make it as easy for myself as possible.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
I get
You
it.
just
What if I
really
made a
want-
soup and I just put one potato in there and I said, "Here's your potato soup"?
No, I say no. You were currently in the process of boiling a potato.
No,
and
I'm telling
didn't-
you, it's done. Dinner's ready.
And I'm telling
Soup's on. Ding, ding, ding. Soup's on.
I tell you, this is half a boiled potato. It needs to keep cooking, and then I'll eat it.
All right. See, I think you're overthinking it.
Okay.
I think the easiest way to unmake soup is what you want to do is you want to get one of those Tennant guns
Oh.
and shoot the fucking shit out of your soup.
That's true.
And then it goes
Yeah.
reverso mode.
You're gonna
and then
have-
it gets unmade.
Gets
Okay,
unmade.
so
Yeah.
the problem here is you've forgotten how Tennant works.
Not us.
So it's a doorway, so the soup will have to walk through the door.
Okay, I throw the soup through the door. Done. Step one.
Then it's just gonna come back.
Scalding soup! They hit me reverso style.
You
A
have
reverse burn.
you'll have to.
That's bad. You step in with your bowl of soup and you've got a burn on you all of a sudden.
You need-
this soup's gonna
know
go on.
what's
you
gonna
need
happen
to
soon.
be standing somewhere watching someone make your soup.
Yep.
And
No,
then,
it needs to be you have a bowl of soup. You remember the Tennant rooms?
Yeah.
You're in one room with a bowl of soup.
Yeah.
You're in the other room with the ingredients for a bowl of soup.
yeah, no,
In
that's
the
what
other room, you make the soup as
no, this
you
is,
and them.
Yeah. See, this is what you're gonna need to do. The tenant room.
Yeah.
There's a kitchen. Let's just say there's a kitchen in
Okay.
it. You need to watch someone make the soup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then walk into the tenant room, and then you'll stand there as they unmake the soup.
Ah, that's true. That's how you do it, dude. That's how you do it. Tennant.
Tenant. Easy.
Easy.
Could I
Solved
go?
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna
Could
say
I
do
make-
it memento mode, but he's not going back in time.
But you'd watch yourself do it because you want to unmake it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know what would happen if you carry the soup into the room.
Yeah. What happens if I carry? Yeah.
That's like one thing I can't remember.
And then
if
I
you're
like-
physically holding something, I
Yeah.
don't think it moves backwards because
And I
you're
like-
moving backwards.
Well, you
Like shoveling
unshoot
soup out of my mouth,
Gross.
and then I unmake it.
do you unshoot the bullets, or are they going in reverso mode and you just need to be careful?
Well,
of
they're
bullets going
reverso
backwards?
bullets.
I
Yeah.
need to watch Tenet again.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
I love the
nah.
idea of memento soup where you just look down at your arm and there's a tattoo that says "You made soup."
And I go, fuck,
Oh,
which soup was
dude.
mine?
Then you look at your other arm, "You made soup." Okay.
I guess I love soup.
I guess I'm a soup guy.
And then I go into the kitchen and there's no soup.
Huh?
Fuck is my soup?
Okay. What about this then? All right. So I
The
hire,
soup killed my wife. It's sad.
Yeah.
I hire Doc Brown,
Okay.
and I go
Yep.
into get these little time machine,
Yeah.
and I go back to just before I make soup, and I punch myself. In the mouth.
Oh, okay.
To stop me from because if I have a sore mouth, I can only make soup because that'll be easy to fuck, dude.
You go back to the future and you got 3 bowls of soup.
Ah, what horrible
Yeah.
timeline is this?
Yeah, some mug probably got punched in the face. Look at his soup now. Yeah,
Oop, that makes sense.
It's funny to punch yourself in the face and then just start fading away. You're like, damn. I guess in
did
this
it.
reality,
That fucking got me. Damn, dude. Oh no.
what's gonna happen?
Yeah, could
What
I,
did
yeah.
me punching myself in the face
face
change so much that in an hour?
I start fading away. So could I go back in time to stop myself from making soup?
Yeah, you go back in
use-
time and shoot yourself in the back of the head.
Depends which time travel rules you're using.
Yeah, you might
I'll
have just
just-
made a new timeline where you never made soup.
And if you return to your regular timeline, you still have the soup.
You go back there, you open the door, and you're like, finally, there's
Yeah.
that steaming bowl of soup.
Yeah.
I've wasted everything.
And if you go to the other style of time travel and you
Yeah.
shoot yourself in the head to stop yourself from making soup, that's where you die because that always happens.
Yeah. I
That
was
is
imagining
true.
that maybe not shoot myself.
Yeah.
Maybe just like, hey, buddy, don't.
Well, what if I go back in time? So I make soup. Then I go back in time to when I was a little kid and I scare myself with soup. I give myself like a
Dress up
full
like
on
a big bowl of soup.
a
and
big
you're like,
bowl of soup, and I
"Oh,
beat the
soup
shit out of
monster."
young me with a bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just start fading
Surprise
away.
me on
Yeah.
the playground. Hey kid, I'm soup.
You've been eating me? I'll
Don't
kill
eat me.
you.
I'll kill you. Ah! Arrested in the past.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That can't be
Okay.
good for future me.
Well, I never become.
But yeah, he never becomes him
Oh,
because
yeah,
he's so
'cause-
scared of soup.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it'd be like depending on what kind of I guess it depends what kind of time travel rules.
you
If you're
reckon
doing like butterfly effect, which
Yeah.
flip flops in the movie itself, I guess you yourself would start getting like a sort of like what do you call a scar that's a dent?
A divot.
A divot in your head.
Hit yourself too hard. Side note, I'm glad that everyone's just come around on the. This is Ashton Kutcher again.
Yeah.
It's come around on the fact that Butterfly Effect is a bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
It's
a period of
it
time.
makes sense up until a point where you're like, you've just gone back to what you stupid movie. Anyway.
I guess that's also looper rules. If I hit myself in the head with a bat, I get a hit in the head with a bat.
No, because if it's butterfly effect, that's you going back as a kid.
Yeah.
And looking at it in the mirror and being like, you hate soup, and then hitting yourself. That's,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's butterfly effect rules.
My friends in primary school are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I'll kill all of you.
I'm trying to unmake soup." Yeah. No, I'm doing looper mode if I go back and hit myself in the head with
Yeah.
a bat and then I get a divot in my head and then go to jail.
What do you think? How different do you reckon your life would be if you just didn't like soup, or you were scared of soup?
I think if I was scared of soup,
Scared of soup's rough. Anytime you go to a restaurant, it's like
the-
appetizer soup. Ah!
because the difference is not that I'm scared of soup. It's that as a child, a man in a soup costume. I'm actually not scared of soup. I'm scared of
Getting bashed.
I'm
Scared of
deeply
men,
traumatized.
men in soup costumes, which thankfully I don't have to deal
Rare
with on
to
a day-to-day
see.
basis.
I reckon
Until
continent.
Pixar's Soups comes out,
Yeah.
and then I'm in
Or
trouble.
the Continental Copper Soup
Yeah.
logo. For some reason, I can imagine that
Oh,
being
fuck.
a guy in a costume.
Sorry, it just reminds me of that time where he's in jail now, thank God. And then,
I
do
reckon
I?
those continental, those ones, where it's like a pack of soup. I reckon maybe the easiest to unmake.
No, have you remember what's in that packet there?
Yeah,
like
It's just a
vegetables
powder.
and
I
powder.
know, but
yeah.
then it's, you do the whole like you
Reduce, then
reduce it, and then
Centrifuge.
and then I was gonna say like let it cool down and you kind of repowder it up.
Oh yeah, because it started as
so
powder.
It started as powder. so it's more
Yes,
of a
that's
like
true.
like a stock kind of thing.
Well,
That's probably easier than loopering yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do like the idea of you spending time in jail from the 90s, even
Yeah.
though you're in. You can
Yeah.
just start ruining movie plots for people
Well,
in
I
prison.
That's a funny thing to do. What are you doing in here? Don't worry about it. In the Matrix.
Yeah.
I like the idea that if I'm in there for, depending how long I'm in, I get out. But like, 20 years older.
I don't know how much time you'd get for beating up a child with a bat.
It's me. It's me. It's not a crime to hit myself.
Because murder's 25.
Yeah.
But also, like, he's got no like
Identity.
identity.
They
like,
might just be like, it's going to be
identifying,
easier if we just give this guy the chair.
When are you going?
Oh, please
like, how
don't.
far back? 'Cause,
Oh,
like,
that
do you
would
have
actually-
DNA stuff.
I was
That'd be
imagining-
fucking weird
I was imagining 98.
because they could do like, all right, and it's like, oh, it's weird. Like, if you were like,
Yeah.
that's me, and then they do tests, they'd be like,
It is him.
It is
exactly.
him.
You'd
Can
break the universe.
Can you let me go?
No, you beat up a child.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but it
he's
was
me,
me.
so it doesn't even count.
Bang.
Oh,
It
the
was
cop
easy-
shot me with a gun.
It was easier to just kill him.
Yeah,
and
that is smart.
Yeah.
But in
good
a way,
move.
that's also murder.
can't kill a guy that didn't exist.
but he did exist.
I
Yeah,
do
but
exist.
he still exists as a little baby boy.
For now.
Yeah.
Until he goes back in time and
you're
gets
gonna
shot by
shoot
that
him.
cop.
Except I won't go back in time because I'm scared of soup. So in a way, I've just
You live forever
I
now.
live forever in a way.
In
What?
a way, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you unmake soup? I don't know.
Yeah, I think yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
As we all heard on the television show Legion that everyone in the world watched,
Yes.
and therefore the saying became global. Hey, maybe I'm wrong and it is a saying, but
Yeah.
when the top 15 search results were all Legion related,
Yeah, look, as much as I know, doing this episode with you boys,
Yeah.
that look, can you unmake soup? I don't know, but I know you can soup anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
I
is
think
true.
that's a good takeaway message.
Yeah.
That's really important, I think.
and let us know, is this from Legion? And on that note, I've been Joel.
I've been
I've
Jackson.
also been Joe.
You wanted us to do a Legion episode, here it
Here you
is.
go.
Yeah, all you Legion heads, i.e. me,
Yeah.
and maybe
Tom
Handsome
Reed?
Tom.
Yeah.
And that's
This one's for
about
you,
it.
baby.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy your soup.